talk a little bit about how to use the beauty dish to get beauty lighting, clamshell light, and butterfly lighting. So for these examples, I have the beauty dish mounted on the boom arm over a C-stand. A few important things to keep in mind anytime you're going to boom your light, right? And so when I say boom, it's getting the light out over your subject without having the stand directly beneath it. So the first thing you want to make sure is that you have your boom arm extended over the highest, longest leg of your C-stand. I also have two sandbags on to support my stand as well, because this is very top heavy. Right? And if your C-stand is not well supported, or you have it extended between the legs, it's going to fall and the light will break. So you want to make sure that you have a good base of support. You also can see I have the cord wrapped around the handle of the knuckle so that it's not dangling down. You want to make sure that you're keeping your cords out of the way. And I also have a little piece of cloth here. It just helps you remember in your mind that you have a boom arm there, because sometimes when we're shooting, we sort of forget about it. The other thing to keep in mind when you're getting your light put on the boom arm is you want to make sure that it's it's all the way onto the boom arm and that you're tight into the screw, but you don't want to tighten it so much that you strip the screw, right? So you want it to be tight but not over tightened. So the beauty dish, it basically kind of looks like a big salad bowl, and it has inside, it has a white interior with a disc in the center. And so what happens is when the light flashes, the light hits the disc in the center, which reflects it back into the beauty dish, and it diffuses all around the beauty dish. The beauty dish is harder than a softbox, but it's not as hard as a bare reflector. So it's sort of in the middle, and it gets its name from giving us beautiful light that you see a lot in times of kind of beauty ads, makeup ads. A lot of times that light is created from a beauty dish. All right, and it's a really versatile lighting modifier, and we're going to walk through some of the different ways that you can use that. Okay, so the first type of light we're going to talk about is just kind of standard traditional beauty lighting. So I have a bare beauty dish that I'm going to put at about 45 degrees above and kind of coming down to my model at about 45 degrees. I'm going to turn off the lights so we can see how our light looks. Okay, so you want to make sure, and you're going to want to work with your model to make sure that they are in the best spot of the beauty dish. The beauty dish is not going to have even light all around it. There's definitely a brighter point. So if it's on a stand and you can easily move the beauty dish around, you can do that. Because ours is on a boom, I'm just going to have Natalie scoot up just a smidge. All right, to get her kind of right, you want her right kind of under the center of that beauty dish. Okay, so I'm going to take a shot and test my exposure. The beauty dish is great for getting really beautiful skin. Very nice. Now, as with any kind of light, we can always add a fill. Another way that we can change our light from the beauty dish is to add some diffusion. So we have a diffusion cover for the beauty dish. It's sort of like a shower cap, and it fits right over the edge of the beauty dish. And it's just going to add a little bit of diffusion. It does not diffuse to the extent that like a softbox would, all right, but it is going to give you a little bit of a softer light from your beauty dish. Let's see, we'll compare this to our bare beauty dish. Okay, so it is a little bit brighter and a little bit softer. All right, so another way you can always, again, add the fill cards, but another way to change this light is to make it into what's called clamshell lighting. So beauty light is kind of traditionally one light at a 45-degree angle. If you add a fill card at a 45-degree angle the other way, you're kind of creating this sort of clamshell, and that's what gives us the name clamshell light. So I'm going to have, actually, can you hold this in one hand? All right, so it's not going to be in my shot, right? But I'm creating sort of this clamshell shape, right? This angle of one light above and it's bouncing off the fill card below. You can achieve clamshell lighting with a fill card, or if you wanted to put another beauty dish on a stand and have the beauty dish filling at a 45, you could do that as well. So you can either do it with a fill card or another light. And what that fill card is going to do is open up all of those shadows. And it's just going to be really flattering, really soft, even light. Okay, so we can do typical beauty. We can add this to make it clamshell. Another modifier that we have for the beauty dish is the grid. All right, so this is the grid. All right, it's also called a honeycomb. We have these for the beauty dish as well as for the bare reflectors, and they are measured in degrees. The smaller the degrees, the closer the holes are together. And this is really going to give a lot more direction to our light. It's really going to narrow our light and focus it. It has about 4 little rubberized clips on the edge, and it just clips and gets pushed into the inner lip of the beauty dish. So it just sits right on that inside edge. And you might notice a difference. You can see that a little bit of our light has been lost and it's much more narrow now. All right, there's not nearly as much light that spills onto the background or around her. The other type of lighting, the last type of lighting that I want to show you with the beauty dish is called butterfly lighting. So the term comes from sort of old Hollywood glamour, the movie posters, and what gives it the name is that there's a small shadow that you're looking for under the nose that looks like a butterfly, and that's what gives this light its name. To achieve butterfly lighting, you want to have your light source slightly in front and above your subject. All right, so I'm going to have, because I have my light on a boom that's heavy to move, I'm going to move my subject as opposed to my light. So wait, I'm going to move it over. Right, so you want your subject to be slightly behind your light. So your light should be a little bit above and a little bit in front. All right, so let's see. Bring your chin down a little bit. So we're looking for a butterfly shadow right under the nose. Perfect, just like that. Also, if your model has great lashes, you're going to get beautiful lash shadows. All right, and that is butterfly lighting and the beauty dish.